Hi, everyone. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today, we're going to go over the vocabulary pictures and words for first grade journeys, lesson 20. And our anchor text is Little Rabbit's Tale by Wong Herbert Yi, illustrated by Richard Bernal. For this lesson, you're going to turn and talk. That means I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to think about your answer. And then you're going to pair up with a partner at home, or you can be my virtual partner. And then you're going to share out your answer in a complete sentence or sentences. So for this lesson, you will need a pencil and a piece of paper or journal page. And you're going to write your numbers 1 to 8. After you write each of your vocabulary words or sight words, you're going to be challenged at the end of the lesson to write the words up to 2 more times, 1 and 2. The second time you write the word or in the third column, you can either write the word or draw a quick picture or sketch. So here's your learning target. I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the folktale, Little Rabbit's Tale. Here's our other learning target. I can talk about the important words and pictures from the story. Success criteria. That means how will you know you're successful at using pictures and context clues to understand important words, and how will you know you're successful at talking about these important words? Well, here are your steps to success. We're going to do it one step at a time. I will. Number 1, look closely at each pair of pictures. Number 2, say what I notice or see. How are the pictures the same or similar? That's where you turn and talk. Number 3, I will read each definition, each word and its definition. And 4, write each word 2 or more times and draw a picture for each. Let's quickly go over our turn and talk rules. If you have a partner at home, you're eye to eye and knee to knee. Number 2, first one person talks, the other person listens. 3, then the next person talks, the other person listens. 4, do not talk too long on your turn, or your partner will not have time to have a turn. I'm going to ask these questions. What do you notice or see about the pictures? And you can say, I notice, and then finish your thought. I'm also going to ask, how are they both the same or similar? And you can say, they both. You can also agree with me and say, I agree with you, Mrs. Pearson, because, or I disagree. I disagree with you because, and tell me why. Here's our first 2 pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a person, a little child, is crying because they really want the gumball in the gumball machine. In the second picture, I notice a mouse or a rat is thinking about cheese. He or she must really want that cheese. So, how are these pictures the same? They both, well, they both show want. So, for number 1, I want you to write want. W-A-N-T, want. W-A-N-T, want. W-A-N-T, want. Want is a word you use when you desire something and talk about something you would like to have. Want is a word you use when you desire something and talk about something you would like to have. So a synonym or word that means the same would be desire. They want to pick apples today. They want to pick apples today. You could also substitute the synonym and say, they desire to pick apples today. So, how do I use it? I want to go to the beach. What do you want to have for dinner? You could also substitute desire and say, I desire to go to the beach. What do you desire to have for dinner? Number two, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, it looks like I see a old woman with a cane. Looks like maybe a grandmother or a great grandmother. In the second picture, I notice a very old shoe that looks like it needs a lot of repair. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both Well, they both show something old, an old person and an old shoe. Old, O-L-D, old, O-L-D, old. To be old means to have been here for a long time, old. So a synonym or word that means the same is ancient. To be ancient or old means to be have been here for a long time. So this little apple tree is not very old. This little apple tree is not very old. You could also say this little apple tree is not very ancient because ancient is similar to old. How do I use it? Sandra rested under the old tree. What old piece of clothing do you have that is you still like? Why do you like it? You could also say, Sandra rested under the ancient tree. What ancient piece of clothing do you have that you still like? Why do you like it? Next pair of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a woman is putting on shoes. She is trying on lots of different shoes. In the second picture, I notice Snoopy is trying to jump through a hoop, and Charlie Brown says, nice blank. So, what word would make sense there? Let's see, the word is try. T-R-Y. Try. T-R-Y. And I forgot to add, how are these pictures the same? They both show a person trying something or the dog trying something. So the woman is trying on shoes, the dog is trying to jump through the hoop, and Charlie Brown says, nice try. T-R-Y, try. T-R-Y, try. Try means to attempt to do something once to see how it goes. Try means to attempt to do something once to see how it goes. So a synonym for try could be attempt. So she attempted to put on as many shoes as she could, or Snoopy attempted to jump through the hoop. So they try to find the best apples. They try to find the best apples, or they attempt to find the best apples. How do I use it? Try not to spill water. What musical instrument would you like to try to play? Or you could say, attempt not to spill water. What musical instrument would you like to attempt to play? Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a woman who is using a sewing machine, a computer, and I'm not sure what that other thing is, but using many different things all at once. She has one, two, three, four different arms and hands. Wow, she's very busy. And in the next picture, I noticed someone using a laptop. Someone is using a laptop. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both Well, they both show use, 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 use. The woman is using many different things like a sewing machine or computer. The man is using a laptop. Use means to operate something or work with something. She's operating a sewing machine. She's working with a computer. The man is operating a laptop. Use. So a synonym or a word that means the same or is similar is operate. Use a ladder to reach the high apples. Use a ladder to reach the high apples. You could also say operate a ladder to reach the high apples. How do I use it? I know how to use a hammer and a nail. What are some ways to use a brush? So how do I use it? I know how to use a hammer and a nail. What are some ways to use a brush? You could also say, I know how to operate a hammer and a nail. What are some ways to operate a brush? Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I noticed two jars of gumballs or jelly beans or some sort of candy, and one has less and the other has more. In the next picture, I notice a, a balance beam, and it looks like the tape dispenser weighs more or is heavier than the lemon. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They both Well, they both show more. There are more gumballs in the right jar, and the tape dispenser weighs more than the lemon. More, M-O-R-E, more. More means extra or added. More means extra or added. So a synonym or word that means the same could be extra. No more apples will fit in here. No more apples will fit in here. You could say, no extra apples will fit in here. Or there are extra gumballs or candy in the right jar, and the tape dispenser weighs extra. How do I use it? I would like more time to read. What is the opposite of more? I would like more time to read. What is the opposite of more? Well, you could also say, I would like extra time to read. Or what is the opposite of extra? It could be less or few. Next one, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice someone is washing their hands. In the second picture, I notice someone is washing dishes and making them squeaky clean in hot soapy water. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both, well, they both show wash, number 6, W-A-S-H, wash. W-A-S-H. Wash. Wash your hands. Wash the dishes when you're done. Wash. W-A-S-H. Number 6 is wash. Wash means to clean, rinse, or scrub to remove dirt and germs. Wash means to clean, rinse, or scrub to remove dirt and germs. So a synonym or word that means the same for wash is rinse or clean. Be sure to wash the apples. Be sure to wash the apples. You could also say be sure to rinse the apples or be sure to clean the apples. How do I use it? Let's wash the clothes today. Do you like to wash the dishes? You could also say, let's clean the clothes today. Do you like to clean the dishes? Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a mom and her girl. In the second picture, I notice two children and their mother. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both Well, they both show mother, M-O-T-H-E-R, mother, M-O-T-H-E-R, mother, mother, M-O-T-H-E-R. A mother or mom is a woman who has a child. A mother or mom is a woman who has a child. So a synonym for mother or a word that means the same is mom or mama. Ben's mother helps us make a pie. Ben's mother helps us make a pie. You could also say Ben's mom or mama helps us make a pie. How do I use it? My mother talked to the salesman. Do you know any other words that mean mother? So, my mother talked to the salesman. You could also say, my mom talked to the salesman. Do you know any other words that mean mom or mama? Last two pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a person is walking through a door. The door is open. In the second picture, I notice a front door from to a house or apartment. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They both Well, they both show a door, D-O-O-R, door, D-O-O-R, door. A door is an entryway or opening that can also be closed to help you go into or out of a house, a room, or an object such as a cabinet in a kitchen. A door is an entryway or opening that can also be closed to help you go into or out of a house, a room, or an object such as a cabinet. So, what's another word for door? Entryway. Entryway. It's a compound word, entry and way. Put it together, entryway. Open the oven door when the pie is done. Open the oven door when the pie is done. Open the other oven, you could say entryway, or better yet, open the oven opening. Or, yes, so it doesn't quite work great in that sentence, but entryway is similar. Whoops. How do I use it? Please open the door for me. Who do you think will be the next person to come through your classroom door? You could also say, please open the entryway for me. Who do you think will be the next person to come through your classroom entryway? Want. Now you're going to review all of the vocabulary and sight words. So check your work now. Number one is want. Want is a word that you use when you desire something and talk about something you would like to have. Want. Number two, old. To be old means to have been here for a long time. Ancient. To be old means to have been here for a long time. Ancient. Number three, try. Try means to attempt to do something once to see how it goes. Number four, use. Use means to operate something or work with something. Use. Want, old, try, and use. Number five, more. More means extra or added. Number six, wash. Wash means to clean, rinse, or scrub to remove dirt and germs. Number seven, mother. A mother or mom is a woman who has a child. Number eight, door. A door is an entryway or opening that can be used to help, that can be closed to help you go into or out of a house, a room, or an object such as a cabinet. So more, wash, mother, and door. All right, at the top of your paper, I want you to reflect on your learning. Did you meet your learning target? I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the folk tale, Little Rabbit's Tale. Would you give yourself a 4? I could teach this lesson. I easily said how each pair of pictures were the same, and I also wrote them all. Or would you give yourself a 3? I was able to say how most of the picture pairs were the same, and I wrote all the words. Or would you give yourself a 2? I was able to say how some of the picture pairs were the same, and I wrote most of the words. Or would you give yourself a 1? I was not able to say how any of the picture pairs were the same, and I wrote little to no words. So write your reflection. Do you think you earned a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1? All right, so it's the end of our lesson, so it's time to challenge yourself. You've written all 8 vocabulary and sight words, so get your crayons or your pencil to rainbow write or just write your words 2 more times. You can also challenge yourself by drawing a picture or sketch to help you remember the word. Thank you, everyone, for reading with me and going over the vocabulary and sight words and writing them. Have a great day.